Hi, you've seen this before. I've done a video covering the installation and how this thing works. It's the Brink Flair 400 home air ventilation and heat recovery system. So this, when we were renovating the roof on the house, we had this installed, and we've basically got fresh air pumped into the house. And our house is actually relatively pressure tight, so we don't have to open the windows to get fresh air in. We actually get it pumped in 24/7 via this ventilation and heat recovery system. So in winter it actually recovers some heat, and normally we operate it on mode 2, which is 170 cubic meters per hour. Yes, per minute's a bit much. Per hour. So we've got it set to 170, and as you can see there, sure enough, that's what it's doing. Okay, 170. It's actually got sensors inside, pressure sensors, and there's 4 ports on this thing. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The one at the back is the air inlet, which comes from outside, so that brings the fresh filtered air in, and then it goes through an internal filter like this, and we've just got a coarse filter at the moment. This is the inlet filter and this is the outlet filter, and you can see once you close it up, it actually seals that. But we've also got these micron filters here. This one's was installed 20th of June. There you go, put a date on it. So yeah, it's been it gets clogged up pretty decently. Anyway, the problem that we've been having is that it's been incredibly noisy, ridiculously noisy. You can hardly hear it at the moment. Maybe if I ramp it up, you'll be able to maximum 340 cubic meters per hour. There, you can hear that actually ramp up. And normally, like, we only need use it on 170, but because it brings exhaust from like the bathrooms and stuff as well. We've got a remote control inside. When we're taking a shower, we just like hit the boost button, and it boosts it up so that it sucks all the it exhausts all the air out, so from the bathrooms and everything. But anyway, it's been incredibly noisy lately, and the inlet pressures, you can see it measures the pressures. The inlet pressures have been going up to like 600-700 pascals, which is insane. We're supposed to have a low inlet pressure, which means that the inlet was somehow blocked, because this tries to keep that 170 cubic meters per hour. It tries to keep that constant airflow rate. So if your inlet port is very narrow or very long or very clogged up, then it will ramp up the RPM to actually compensate for that. And it's been getting very loud, and it was getting up to like 3,400 RPM on the input. Now it's only like 1,900. So yeah, it was blocked, and I couldn't figure out. I went up and checked all the ducting, couldn't figure it out what was causing that inlet, because it's only a short inlet. It's only like 3-4 meters from here that goes up. Oh, by the way, the other two here, this is the exhaust which comes from the house, this one here at the front. So that comes from all the bathrooms, all the rooms and everything else. And then this one goes to a vent on the outside, which will then exhaust the air, and it's got a heat exchanger unit in here as well. So we have the heat exchanger unit turned on in winter time. Don't want that in summer. So what was blocking it? I had no idea what was blocking it. So I went up on the roof, and here's your problem. I had no idea that this outer hood, like, it's designed to sit there like a mushroom thing. It's designed to sit there like that. They've got one of these for the inlet, one for the outlet. This is the inlet one. The outlet one was completely clear. This inlet one, I didn't know it actually had a coarse filter up in here. And as you can see, it is clogged. It's clogged to buggery. It's almost 100% clogged. So I'm assuming that we must have had like a really, there was, I don't know, some nearby bushfires or something, burn off, something like that happening one day. And it just, there's where all of our air's been coming from, through that one there. That little slot there. Everything else looks completely blocked. Look at that. I had no idea. I thought this was just like, just had the large squares in there. I didn't remember this having essentially a coarse filter on it. And yeah, look at it. It's just completely blocked. Unbelievable. So I reckon, you probably have like one bad day or something, all sorts of, ash and crap and soot and God knows what it is that was in the air, and it's either that or it's slowly accumulated. But I reckon it's more likely that we've had an issue. I'll go out here in the light so that you can see it. I think it's more likely that we've just had like 1 or 2 bad days or something like that, and that's just really clogged the thing up, and it's completely kamagutsa. So I didn't know that. It's just been getting noisier, and because it's in the garage, we don't hear it at night, but we certainly have been hearing it when we've been out in the garage, and we went, that doesn't sound right. So I eventually decided to troubleshoot it, and wow, yeah, that's a shocker. That's terrible, Muriel. So I'm going to have to clean that. There was nothing wrong with our ventilation system. It was just the outside port. There's multiple layers of filtering on this thing. Unbelievable. Lesson learned. We're going to have to watch the inlet pressure. The good thing is it does have that inlet pressure sensor in there, so you don't have to get up on the roof and check it. You can just see when the actual pressure. Yeah, and if I used Home Assistant, everyone will mention, oh, Home Assistant, get it to alert you. Yeah. There is an interface. I think there is a comms interface you can buy for this Brink Flair 400 that you can interface with Home Assistant or something. Yeah, you could set up like an alert that if the inlet pressure goes above 200 or something, then send me an email. Go up there and clean this stupid thing. Because there was nothing wrong with the ducting. I mean, it could, there could have been something wrong with the ducting, but it hasn't been touched since it's installed. So, it could be kinked or, whatever. But no, it wasn't that. It's just a stupid outside thing. Unbelievable. Just on top of the unit here, I've got that inlet disconnected, and here's the diagram. You can see that the different ports. This is the external air coming from outside, and then it goes through this is the heat exchanger. It goes through and then into the house, and then we've got the exhaust from the house, which is this one here, and then it goes through another outlet filter, which is just a coarse filter. We don't fine filter the output air, and then that just goes to the vent outside. I've cleaned that filter. We've got an inlet pressure of 30 pascals there. There you go. So I'm now going to plug this back in. It just goes in there like that. Doesn't screw in. It's just got a little thing. There you go. See how much that inlet pressure, how much that extra pressure that ducting adds. Yeah, there you go. It's jumped up to 73. That's normal. That sounds very normal. Yeah, so the inlet pressure is going to be dictated by the size of your ducting, the resistance inside your ducting, whether or not you've got any kinks or anything like that. And so, yeah, the length, the diameter of the ducting and any potential kink points or stuff like that. But there you go, 72. That's fine. Now, it sounds fantastic. So, Dan, that outside coarse filter, I completely forgot that was there, and I was wondering how the hell is the ducting blocked? Is there a dead animal inside or something? But no, it turns out even that really super coarse filter can get clogged. So I'm going to have to, just monitor that inlet pressure. For reference, I might actually put a sticker on here because I'll forget. I'll put, typical inlet pressure for the different speeds and stuff, because if we increase it like that, it should go up. And let's have a look. 74 takes a second. Yeah, there you go, 200 pascals. Yep. So I might actually put some reference stickers on here for inlet pressure, and if it exceeds that by a significant margin, I know to go up there and clean it out again. Anyway, hope you found that interesting. Catch you next time.